instead of typing and taking pictures and trying to explain everything in the build thread, I figured I'd just take a quick video. So I'm working on keeping the car a little cooler because it's starting to warm up outside, and I just don't want to have any overheating issues. So as you can see, my lines for my oil cooler, they're already in place. Right now I just have them looped behind the bumper because my intercooler piping, it was rubbing on the oil cooler. So I had bent the corner of the oil cooler to try and make it fit. Then when I started it up, it leaked right away. So I bought another oil cooler. This one just like this for it was $40 online at a Racer Parts Wholesale. Then I also bought a little section of intercooler piping so that way I can have them cut it and then weld it to my existing piping, because I got tired of trying to find that exact U-shaped pipe. But the problem with our cars is once you put an intercooler in front of the bumper, there's not a whole lot of airflow to either the radiator or the oil cooler. So the location for the oil cooler is going to be right behind here. I already have all the holes and stuff drilled to mount it from the other one. The only thing I had to do was just extend the intercooler piping. So as you can see, there's not a whole lot of airflow. Then over here, there's barely any airflow for the radiator. So I'm thinking about putting some sort of like sheet metal or something on the left side, which will kind of guide the air towards the radiator. I think a lot of the air is going out the hole in the bottom. So hopefully that'll drop the temperatures a little bit. Right now, when I get on the freeway, the coolant temps are about 205 and they just kind of sit there. It's a little higher than I'd like. And then for the oil, the temps get to, I think it was about 220 is the highest I've had. Now I was just driving on the freeway, nothing crazy or nothing like that. Yeah, so I guess I'll pull off this bumper, then take another video. Alright, so the bumper is off now. So here's my tow strap I installed last week, or a couple weeks ago. So yeah, as you can see, hopefully better now, there's not a whole lot of space for air back there. So I'm thinking if I can install some sort of I don't know, like a shield to kind of deflect the air towards the radiator instead of going towards the left, it might be a little bit more efficient. And on this side, you can see a little bit where the old oil cooler was rubbing. This small little dent right there. Then here's where my lines are looped right now. And they just run up and over to the back of the motor there. I'll go ahead and pull off the intercooler piping and try on the oil cooler and see how much I need to extend the piping. Alright, so the oil cooler is installed right now. As I just reinstalled it, I realized that there was no bracket here, so I just made one real quick, but she's pretty stable now. Doesn't move at all. So up here, one of the lines are going to go to this port right here on the oil cooler. And then one of them is going to go through the bumper support right there. And come out the other side and just connect right to there. So, I'll install this intercooler piping real quick. And we'll see how much I got to extend it. Alright, so that's as far in as I can get it, because it is hitting the oil cooler right there. So let's see. could probably do 2.5 inches. That should give me plenty of clearance to clear the oil cooler. Yeah. So tomorrow I'll go ahead and bring that down and get the sections welded on. So yeah, I'm planning on just having them cut 2.5 inches off of this and just welding it right back onto here. Should give me plenty of room then. So I was able to get my intercooler piping extended. It was $40 for them to hack up the straight piece of intercooler piping and weld it onto my existing one. It took a little bit to find the shop that would do it. I had to go to a few different places because apparently aluminum's pretty difficult to weld compared to steel. So, but yeah, it's all welded up. I'll be throwing some paint on it tonight and then probably installing it either later tonight or tomorrow. Alright, so piping is painted. Looks okay. It'll work. So the next part is the least favorite part, which is actually connecting up the lines. I already know it's going to make a mess and there's going to be oil all over the place, but it's got to get done. So the oil cooler is now installed. Here's how it's sitting right now. Nice and sturdy. Barely even moves. And the lines are all connected, as you can see. So when I ran through the bumper support, I put some light on it. I had some grommets that I'm using, so I don't have to worry about the metal cutting into the hose. So that's not going to be an issue. But yeah, it's on there pretty good. Just need to throw the bumper back on and we'll be good to go. So here's the little guide that I created to help direct air towards the radiator. I just used some sheet metal and then some zip ties to secure it. And I also used a bolt too on the bottom because I had to move the horn over for the intercooler mount. So I just used that hole. Yeah, hopefully it'll work. Pretty simple. Since I have the bumper off, I figured I'd swap out the fender finally, because this one, it's kind of hard to see probably on the camera, but there's a couple scratches, and there's a dent like right here. Not too sure if you can see that, but the other one I have is in a lot better condition. Same color and everything. Hopefully the paint matches up pretty good, but it'll look better than a dented, scratched up fender. So bumper is back on. So here you can see where the air diverter is. So that'll guide the air towards the radiator. Then here's the oil cooler. So car is back together. I just got back from a test drive and I noticed a big difference in my oil temps after installing the oil cooler. So before, when I was on the freeway, my temps would be about 220. Then now that I got the cooler they sit around 185. So that made quite a big difference. The coolant temps are they're a little lower, not too much. Adding that plate in there didn't do as much as I thought it would, but every little bit helps, I guess.